The chosen why chosen one. Lean in, this is urgent and intimate. There is a holy hush over your life right now, and it is not emptiness. It is strategy. Heaven is arranging the board in your favor, and the first command is simple and weighty. Do not reveal your next move. Guard it like oil. Hide it like treasure. Protect it like breath. This is not fear. This is wisdom in a prophetic hour, when premature words can puncture what God is still inflating behind the veil. You have been feeling it, the pull, to speak, to explain, to justify, to prove you are advancing. Yet the Spirit presses a gentle finger to your lips. Not yet. Your silence is not surrender. It is stewardship. Your quiet is not delay. It is design. The Father is not withholding clarity. He is building momentum. The less they know, the less they can misinterpret. The less you announce, the more God will reveal on His terms and His timing for His glory. Hear this with your spirit. Some doors only swing open on the hinges of secrecy. Some blessings only ripen in the shade. Some victories are forged in the quiet forge of obedience, where you move without the applause of many and without the permission of any, only the whisper of the one. Heaven is not asking you to shrink. Heaven is teaching you to shield. The oil on your life is too rare to be poured into casual conversations and curious ears. Your blueprint is not for public debate. Your instructions are not community property. Your destiny does not need an audience to be authentic. There is also a warning. Wrapped in love, the enemy studies patterns, not prayers. He cannot read your heart, but he can map your habits. Loose words become loose threads, and loose threads unravel robes. A single, careless confession can become a foothold in a cunning hand. But when you keep holy counsel, when you speak only as the Spirit gives utterance, you starve the adversary of data and feed your future with discipline. You are not ordinary. You are not random. You are a walking appointment with divine timing. You have been set apart as a sign, a strategy, a story God Himself is scripting. And while the world looks for noise, heaven invests in depth. Even now, angels are aligning, resources are relocating, and allies are awakening because you chose the wisdom of restraint over the relief of release. Keep your steps steady. Keep your heart soft. Keep your plans covered in prayer. Micro bridge. Stay close. In a moment, I will unveil why heaven's silence around you is not absence, but architecture. Listen with your inner ear. This instruction does not rise from opinion pressure or the echo of your own desire. It comes from the one who formed you in the dark and numbered your days before light ever touched your skin. The holy architect who lays foundations beneath mountains and pulls threads through centuries has placed a seal upon this hour, conceal to consecrate, hide to hallow, cover to crown. The command is protective, not punitive, strategic, not restrictive. Heaven's quiet over your plans is not a gap, but a governance. Like a master composer, God is arranging measures you have not heard yet. He is writing rests into the score so the crescendos won't be wasted on inattentive rooms. His silence is the scaffolding around a rising cathedral. People passing by see tarps and shadows. The builder sees vaulted ceilings, stained glass, and an altar that will host his fire. This is why your lips feel guarded, because the sanctuary is still under construction. Trust the voice that never wastes a syllable. You are being tutored by the Spirit who hovered over the waters when the earth was unformed. He knows how to bring shape out of silence. He knows how to speak, "Let there be," over the void and make it bloom with order, boundary, and beauty. When He asks you to hold your tongue, it is because He is holding your promise. When He instructs you to walk softly, it is because He is walking ahead of you with keys. The Father remembers every time you shared early and bled for it. He remembers conversations that drained your courage and rooms that extracted your blueprint but never honored your calling. He saw the counsel that sounded wise but emptied you of faith. And so, like a shepherd drawing a lamb closer, He speaks now with authority and tenderness. "Remain under my wing until the rain passes and the wheat is dry." Secrecy is not a prison. It is shade for ripening grain. You are not being asked to disappear. You are being invited to abide. Abide in the place where revelation lands, first His presence. Abide until what you carry becomes rooted enough to survive the wind of questions. Abide until your language matches His rhythm. There, in that holy nearness, the instruction is clearer than ever. Your next move belongs first to God, then to obedience, and only finally to sight. Order matters. So does timing. Feel the weight and comfort of this. The commander of angel armies is personally supervising your sequence. He measures conversations like He measures seas. He appoints alliances and dissolves counterfeits. He will let certain calls go unanswered to protect your oil. He will close certain rooms before you arrive, so your name is not thrown to wolves. He will open what no hand can shut when the hour matures. Your part is worshipful discretion. His part is sovereign unveiling. Yield to His cadence. Let restraint be your intercession. Let hiddenness be your hallelujah. Heaven is not stalling you. Heaven is staging you. The stage is His. The script is His. The spotlight is His. And when it turns, it will not burn you. It will reveal Him through you. Until then, cover the ember. The wind will come. Microbridge. Now breathe, because what is forming behind the veil is not small. The next moment unveils the shape of what heaven is preparing to release. Lean closer. Beloved, what has been circling your life in whispers now takes form. I see a sealed corridor opening at an appointed watch of the night, and 3 distinct thresholds appearing like constellations aligned by a hidden hand. Each door is etched with a living word. Provision, position, permission. You will not choose them by excitement, but by discernment. You will not enter them by noise, but by a key of quiet placed in your palm by the Spirit. The unveiling has begun, not as a shout in a crowded square, but as a lamp lit in a chamber. Only you and the King may enter. Here is the event. Heaven is midwifing a strategic inversion. What was beneath will be brought above. What lived behind will be invited before. What you accomplished in shadows will be summoned into rooms designed before your first breath. But the route is not linear. It spirals like a staircase hidden in an old fortress wall. Each turn conceals the next until you reach an archway that only answers to consecrated silence. You will not knock. The door will breathe and open to the sound of your obedience. I see a table, not long and ostentatious, but compact and carved of cedar. Around it sit faces you have not met, but have prayed for without knowing their names. Allies ordained by covenant leaders who recognize blueprints by the scent of oil, gatekeepers who hold signatures for places your feet have not touched. Their eyes are clear, their questions few. They are not dazzled by performance. They are drawn by proof, the fragrance of prayer that lingers on plans that were kept from premature air. At this table, your voice will be measured and strong, not because you rehearsed a pitch, but because you kept a vow to speak when the Spirit says speak, and to withhold when He whispers hold. The blessing will not look like a singular trophy. It will feel like a release of pressure you have carried for years, a dam breaking upstream while you are still standing in quiet waters. Opportunities will approach in pairs, a visible path that flatters haste, and a veiled path that requires holy patience. Choose the veil. Behind that curtain is a room where angels have been stacking answers like folded garments, waiting for the time in the frame. The flamboyant door swings quickly and loudly. The sacred door moves slowly, but forever. There will be a trial inside the blessing, like a pearl inside an oyster grit wrapped in glory. The grit is the temptation to narrate too soon, to puncture the swelling miracle with explanation and applause chasing. You will feel the tug to post, to text, to call, to verify your assent with human echoes. Resist. The pearl grows in pressure and privacy. Every hour you wait adds luster. Every secret kept adds weight. Heaven is not withholding celebration. Heaven is concentrating it. I hear the Spirit. Tell them the night will not lengthen beyond its sentence. The midnight that trained your ears will not stretch into morning. It will flip into morning like a page turned by the wind. In that flip, you will notice reversals, debts, negotiating themselves down to dust delays, bowing to the decree of due time, names of yours appearing in the mouths of those who once could not see you. Not hype, not trend, not luck. Providence. The choreography is meticulous. A call that comes while you are not watching your phone. A handshake. You did not schedule a document with your name already printed, as if time had been traveling with your signature. The Spirit shows me a map without roads, only rivers. You will navigate by current, not by concrete. This is why you had to learn silence, because rivers listen to pressure and turn without conference. The blessing is mobility, the ability to be carried where striving could never tow you. Your trial will tempt you to anchor in shallow acclaim. Your calling requires you to flow toward deeper assignments, even if fewer eyes can follow. Symbols rise in the vision, a cloak, a compass, a code. The cloak is authority that fits because you grew into it in hidden winters. The compass is conviction. The needle points not to popularity, but to presence. And the code, the code is a sequence of small obediences that unlocks vaults no enemy surveillance can mimic. Those who watched you could predict your pace, but not your pivot. When you obey the next nudge, the lock will surrender, click, 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 and the vault will open on hinges of favor. Do not stumble at the stillness that surrounds the start. This unveiling is a soft dawn, not fireworks. The sky will lighten before the sun crowns the horizon. You will have to move, when the light is just enough, not yet brilliant. People who require noon to walk will wait. You, who learn to navigate by whisper, will advance. And as you step, you will feel the unseen canopy drawing over you, protection matched to purpose, covering calibrated to calling. This is the promise and the path, a trifold door, a river road, a cedar table, a pearl pressure, a vault code, a dawn. The king is not merely approving your future, he is escorting it. Walk with him, whisper with him, hold your fire until he says now, micro bridge. Pay attention. Now, the meaning beneath these images will steady your feet and sanctify your pace. Every image you have just received, cloak compass code, river instead of road, door that opens to quiet obedience is more than poetry. It is architecture for your inner life. Prophecy is not only a forecast, it is a formation. God does not speak merely to inform you of what will happen. He speaks to shape who you must become, so that when it happens, it does not break you. This is why secrecy matters. Hiddenness is the kiln where vessels harden without cracking. Silence in this hour is not emptiness. It is a womb. The Word became flesh in a concealed place, carried beneath the heart before it stood before the world. What is forming in you carries similar rules. What is conceived by the Spirit must be protected by discretion. Exposure too soon becomes spiritual miscarriage. Your quiet is not cowardice. It is prenatal wisdom. You are not hiding from people. You are hiding with God until the bones of the promise are strong enough to bear weight. The river without roads teaches you the difference between control and trust. Roads are human assurance grids laid on the land to prove we know the way. Rivers are divine guidance currents unseen beneath the surface that carry you beyond maps. Control makes you narrate, justify, and announce so others won't misread you. Trust allows you to move without an audience because your compass is presence, not perception. Rivers do not ask cities for permission to flow. They answer only to gravity and origin. Consider doors and timing. A door is not merely access. It is agreement between your maturity and the assignment's demands. Timing is not a clock. It is a climate. When the climate is right, doors open on their own hinges. When you talk prematurely, you try to pry doors with opinions instead of letting them swing with atmosphere. Heaven is changing your climate pressure temperature, humidity of the heart, so that the door recognizes you and opens without you scratching paint off its face. The cedar table of allies speaks of covenantal discernment. Cedar resists rot and insects. Covenant resists gossip and flattery. You are being trained to distinguish between company and counsel. Company relieves loneliness. Counsel refines destiny. Company loves to hear plans. Counsel knows how to guard them. Do not confuse applause with alignment. Probability is not the same as provenance, where a thing comes from. Let your next words come from the altar, not from anxiety. The pearl within pressure defines the alchemy of restraint. A grain of irritation becomes beauty only when it is covered again and again. Likewise, your instinct to explain must be covered by prayer. Your urge to defend must be covered by worship. Your desire to display must be covered by patience. Each covering adds luster. By the time heaven unveils the pearl, its glow will not be performance. It will be the radiance of processed obedience. The cloak is authority that arrives through absorption, not acquisition. In winter, a cloak warms because it holds what the body is already producing. Authority in the Spirit keeps what intimacy generates. You do not purchase it with declarations. You preserve it with devotion. This is why you are guarded about your next step. Authority leaks through unnecessary explanations. A king does not narrate every turn of the chariot. He moves, and the movement itself is the message. The compass is your conscience tuned to the presence. Its needle does not point toward opportunity. It points toward the one who authors opportunity. When people ask for details you cannot release, you will feel the needle tug. It is not shame. It is sanctified sensitivity. Follow it. Better to seem vague to man than to be vague before God. Precision in the Spirit often looks like ambiguity to the crowd, and the code those small obediences in sequence reveals a law of the kingdom. Breakthrough is cumulative. You want the vault without the clicks. Heaven gives clicks that lead to vaults. The sequence is worship, then watchfulness. Fasting, then friendship with the right voices. Generosity, then guidance you didn't schedule. If you announce between clicks, you confuse the sequence. If you obey, through the clicks, the last sound is not your speech, but the swing of something heavy you could never lift. Seasons matter. Winter conceals roots. Spring reveals shoots. Summer grows fruit. Autumn gathers truth. You are being taught to love winter, the season that teaches you to thrive without witnesses. The world celebrates harvest. Heaven celebrates root systems. Roots choose direction before branches ever choose display. Let your roots choose secrecy now, and your branches will survive storms later that show ponies cannot endure. Journeys matter. There is the path of exodus, where God brings you out, the path of pilgrimage, where God brings you through, and the path of procession, where God brings you in. You currently stand between pilgrimage and procession. Pilgrimage requires restraint, so you don't settle for camps that feel friendly, but are short of promise. Procession requires restraint, so you don't outpace the ark. Both demand the same inner posture, reverent discretion. Light and storms are tutors. Light reveals direction. Storms reveal construction. If a structure rattles in wind, it is the wind's kindness showing where reinforcements must go. The present hush is God's wind at low speed, exposing any loose talk that would become a sail for sabotage. Tighten the ropes, seal the seams. Speak when the storm has taught you which words can hold. Divine timing is not a date on your calendar. It is your heart agreeing with God's heart. When agreement matures, time yields. People call it suddenly, but it is the ripe hour meeting the readied soul. Your secrecy is aligning you. It is trimming spiritual drag. It is making you aerodynamic for the corridor of favor you saw in the vision. Doors recognize weight and shape. Heaven is giving you both. Destiny is not a spotlight. It is a stewardship. The higher you rise, the more your words weigh. A careless sentence at altitude becomes a falling stone on those below. God is training your tongue to carry altitude safely. The transformation is happening now, from needing to be seen to preferring to be sent, from proving to abiding, from narrating to incarnating what he speaks. Do you feel it? The hush is holy. The quiet is crowded with angels. Your silence is forming sentences. Heaven will speak for you when the hour arrives. You are learning to be a gate, not a billboard, a vault, not a vending machine, a sanctuary, not a stage. This is consecration. This is depth. This is how the prophecy becomes a person. Micro-bridge watch. Now, for the Father's confirmations, small, precise, and unmistakably tailored to your steps. You asked for clarity. Heaven answers with signs subtle enough to require discernment, clear enough to steady your feet. Watch for these markers as you walk the path of sanctified secrecy. They will not shout, they will align. 1. The reordered room. Conversations that once drained you will simply end. Not with drama, but with divine drift. People who demanded previews of your plans will lose their appetite for details. Invitations that once felt irresistible will slide past you like leaves in a stream. You will notice you no longer explain yourself. Peace replaces the need to narrate. This holy reduction is not loss. It is precision. God is trimming ambient noise so you can hear the hinge creak on the right door. 2. The unscheduled provision. Resources will arrive in ways too clean to be coincidence. An invoice reduced a refund. You forgot a tool discounted the very week you needed it. A mentor's book gifted into your hands, language that answers a prayer you never posted. Provision wrapped in privacy is a signature of the King. It does not seek applause. It seeks alignment. When supply meets you at the step, you did not announce "Know the map" without roads is carrying you. 3. The quiet yes. You will feel tiny inward nudges. Call now. Wait a day. Send that message. Say nothing here. And each obedience, though small, will unlock a larger ease. Doors once stiff will open with a touch. The current under your life will strengthen. What used to require paragraphs of explanation will resolve with a sentence or a smile. This is the code at work. Click by click, sequence by sequence, heaven responds to your restraint with accelerated clearance. 4. The repeating phrase. In sermons, songs, street signs, and stray conversations, a single line will echo your instruction. Hold your peace. Move quietly. Guard the oil. Wait for the signal. It will appear enough times to interrupt doubt. Do not treat it as cute coincidence. It is a breadcrumb trail of confirmation, a chorus reminding you that consecration is still the strategy. 5. The sanctified interruption. Plans will fall through at the last minute and spare you rooms you do not yet know were compromised. A glitch will delay an announcement you almost made. Later information will surface that proves the delay was a shield. You will thank God for the no that kept your yes pure. Interruption plus peace equals intervention. 6. The shifted appetite. Your hunger will refine. Common approval will taste like empty sugar. Quiet progress will satisfy like bread. You will crave presence over platforms, depth over discourse, and prayer over performance. The algorithm of your soul will change, and with it, your metrics for success. You will measure days not by clicks or compliments, but by clarity and obedience. Expect also the tender sign of restored sleep. The hour you used to spend rehearsing explanations will become the hour heaven sings over you. Night will not stalk you with second guessing. It will fold you into strategy. Dreams may carry blueprints, scenes of rooms, angles of tables, faces of allies. Record them, hide them, let them be lamps for your next obedient step. Understand, these signs do not remove faith. They reward it. They do not eliminate mystery. They make mystery friendly. You are not being teased by heaven. You are being tutored. The confirmations will accumulate until the weight of evidence outweighs the fear of being misunderstood. When these indicators appear, and some have already begun, resist the urge to broadcast them as proof. Let the signs be sacraments between you and God, seals on a covenant that does not need an audience to be authentic. The more you steward privately, the more God will stage publicly when the hour ripens. Microbridge. Hold fast, because with confirmation comes testing, and what follows will refine your silence into strength. With confirmation comes a sharpening of pressure. Expect misreadings first. Your guarded speech will be labeled distance. Your holy discretion will be called pride. Some will demand previews as proof of trust. Do not take the bait. Love them without handing them the blueprint. You are not withholding affection. You are protecting assignment. Misunderstanding is a mild price for multiplied clarity. Next comes the counterfeit corridor offers that feel almost right. They mirror your promise but require small compromises, share more than the Spirit permits, move sooner than peace confirms sign before prayer has finished speaking. These are beautiful detours with quiet leaks. The enemy does not only set snares with thorns, he sets snares with velvet. Your safety is the same as before. Check the needle of the compass. If presence does not pull pass, there will be the thirst to narrate. Progress warms the bones and warmth seeks company. Yet the pearl grows only when grit remains covered. You will feel the urge to text a win, to post a milestone, to call someone who applauds quickly. Let praise rise privately first. Sing in the kitchen before you sing in the square. If the song is real, God will pick its stage. Beware the echo of comparison. You will see others announcing, unveiling, accelerating with noise. Your path will look slower because it is straighter. Remember, fireworks crown the sky and vanish. Dawn takes its time and then rules the whole day. Jealousy is misdirected hunger. Re-aim desire at the one who writes your sequence. He is not late, he is accurate. Fatigue will whisper too. Silence requires strength. The discipline of saying less can feel like carrying weight with your tongue. You will crave casual conversation to release the pressure. Choose prayer instead of leakage. Choose worship instead of venting. Choose a journal over a group chat. Every restraint reinforces the vault you have become. Watch for false deadlines. Anxiety will invent clocks and threaten consequences. If you don't announce by Friday, you'll miss it. Heaven's timeline is not run by fear. When urgency shouts, ask, does this hurry serve obedience or soothe insecurity? God's now never contradicts his peace. Expect strategic loneliness. Some companions will step back not in malice, but by design. Your appetite is changing. Theirs may not. Do not resent the gap. Let it teach you to feed on presence. New allies await at the cedar table, but the bridge between tables is often a holy walk alone. Christ met angels after the wilderness, not before. There may be surveillance without attack. People will watch your patterns, ask vague questions, test boundaries for accountability. Set gentle limits. Clarity without specifics is wisdom. If they are truly sent, they will honor your quiet. If they push you, have your answer. The most subtle challenge is success without saturation, doors that open before your roots have drunk enough. It will look like favor. It will feel like thirst. Decline with gratitude. Better to be rain-soaked before the field than to dust the platform with parched words. God does not starve you to punish you. He soaks you to keep you from burning at noon. Through all of this, remember, none of these trials are penalties. They are proofing. Bread rises under deliberate heat, so it will not collapse at the table. You are being tempered, not tormented, measured, not diminished. The kiln is kindness. The hush is healing. The restraint is royalty, learning its gait. Anchor yourself in small obediences. Keep Sabbath in your soul. Bless those who misread you and keep moving. Smile at counterfeit doors and keep your hand on the code. Your quiet is not empty. It is loaded with oxygen for the next flame. Micro bridge. Now lift your chin, because instruction is coming precise and practical to carry you cleanly through this narrow place. Receive these steps as a rule of life for this strategic hour. They are not heavy. They are holy. Obey them promptly and quietly, and you will move through this corridor clean. 1. Establish a speech covenant. For the next 40 days or the span, the Spirit impresses refrain from describing your plans. Speak of principles, not play-by-plays. Testimony, not timelines. You may share what God has done, but guard what God is doing. If pressed for details, answer with kindness and clarity. I'm letting this ripen in prayer. Heaven honors honest brevity. 2. Create a circle of 3. Limit sensitive counsel to no more than 3 Spirit-led voices. One who covers you in prayer, one who challenges your assumptions, and one who understands your field. Require 2 qualities, reverence for secrecy and love without flattery. If either erodes, reduce access. Covenant is cedar. Gossip is rot. 3. Sanctify your devices. Silence is sabotaged by constant display. Choose a daily window, at least one uninterrupted hour where screens are banished and presence is central. Disable notifications that bait your tongue. Draft announcements in a private note and let them sit 24 hours. Most will expire. The rest will emerge purer. 4. Keep a hidden ledger. Maintain 2 journals, one for communion with God, one for actionable instruction. Date every nudge. Mark each completed step with a simple, done in faith. This becomes your personal code sequence. Click, click, click. When doubts whisper, your ledger will testify. 5. Fast from validation. Pick a platform audience or habit that feeds on applause and fast from it for a set period. Replace the impulse to refresh with a whispered prayer of alignment. Not to me, but to your name, give glory. Your appetite will reset. Your compass will regain true north. 6. Practice the answer of peace. Pre-decide responses to probing questions so you are not dragged into explanations. Keep 3 phrases ready. I'm moving at the pace of peace. I'll share when it's fully baked. Cover this with me in prayer. A prepared answer saves 1,000 unguarded words. 7. Set boundary alarms. Before each conversation, ask the Spirit for boundaries. What may be said, what must not be said, and what should be asked. If the inner needle tugs, stop mid-sentence and pivot. Let me pause. That belongs in my prayer closet first. Obedience, mid-conversation, is wisdom, not awkwardness. 8. Schedule sacrificial stillness. Choose 1 day each week for a half-day retreat. No deliverables, only devotion. Bring scripture water your ledger in silence. Review the last 7 days, repent quickly. Thank lavishly and receive the next 2 or 3 steps only. Complexity is often a sign you added what heaven didn't. 9. Sow in anonymity. Attach generosity to your secrecy. Give where you cannot be credited. Fund a need without signature. Encourage a laborer without your name. Anonymous seed trains your heart to love, results more than recognition, and opens vaults with keys shaped like humility. 10. Guard the early and the late. Your first hour and last hour govern your gates. Begin with word worship. And one question: what is today's click? End with inventory. Where did I overshare? Where did I withhold rightly? Close the day by covering tomorrow's step in advance. 11. Pray the cloak on. Before meetings, interviews, or decisions, pray. Clothe me with authority that comes from nearness. Let my words be few and full. Imagine the cloak resting on your shoulders, warmth from intimacy, weight from responsibility. Step into rooms as one sent, not one selling. 12. Choose the veiled door. When options appear, weigh each by these tests. Does it require me to narrate what God asked me to guard? Does it move at the pace of peace or the pace of panic? Does it deepen dependence or inflate display? Choose the door that protects oil honors timing and keeps rhythms of prayer intact. 13. Build an altar of thanks. Celebrate privately with disproportionate gratitude. For every public acknowledgement, offer 3 unseen thanksgivings. Gratitude thickens atmosphere. Entitlement thins it. The river turns most easily where the banks are lined with praise. 14. Practice strategic silence in success. When something breaks open, let 24 sacred hours pass before any external communication. Share first with God, then with your circle of 3, then, if released, with the room you are assigned to serve. Momentum guarded becomes multiplication. 15. Hold a quarterly consecration. Every 3 months, relay your life on the altar. Time, money, relationships, platforms, and plans. Ask what must be pruned for greater fruit. Ask who must be added or gently released. Ask where the hush has been violated. Repent, reset, re-enter the river. 16. Name your non-negotiables. Write a simple creed you can pray aloud. Presence over platform. Obedience over optics. Sequence over speed. Covenant over crowds. Repeat it until your reflexes obey faster than your feelings. 17. Intercede for the table. Pray for the unseen allies. Heaven is gathering. Prepare their hearts. Purify our motives. Align our timing. Let our meeting be an altar, not a marketplace. When you finally sit together, you will recognize one another by the fragrance of prayer already spent. 18. Bless the rooms you don't enter. When a door closes or a voice goes silent, bless, don't brood. Say, may the Lord prosper them in the place he chose. Blessing keeps the river clean. Bitterness muddies currents and slows boats. 19. Keep Sabbath with your tongue. Each week, choose one full evening of word rest only, encouragement. No strategy, talk. No debriefs, no explaining. Let laughter and wonder refill the well. A tongue that Sabbaths speaks with weight when it must. 20. Seal. Every step, before and after each obedience, pray. I seal this in the blood of Jesus. Let no thief, saboteur, or fleshly hunger tamper with what you have consecrated. Sealed things travel safely. Walk this path quietly, and you will find speed without frenzy, visibility without vanity, and favor without fracture. The code is simple worship. Listen, obey, repeat. Do not despise the click that feels small. It is the sound of the vault agreeing with your maturity. Micro-bridge exhale now, because as you obey, a covering descends, and I must tell you how heaven surrounds those who walk this narrow way. Bandanai. You are not walking uncovered. As you honor the hush, a canopy settles subtle, weighty shore. The same hand that asked for secrecy spreads wings over your sequence. Protection is not only angelic presence around you, it is divine order within you. The quieter you keep your blueprint, the louder heaven patrols its borders. There is a hedge of timing. What is for you will not mature for another. Your name on a door is written in a script only appointment can read. I see watchers looking in and seeing nothing to grasp, because heaven has disguised your steps as ordinary errands while escorting you through royal gates. There is a hedge of assignment. Weapons forged for a different battlefield cannot fire in your climate. Plots assembled in gossiping rooms fall apart at the threshold, as if oxygen refuses their flame. The Lord makes your path inhospitable to sabotage terrain too holy for traps to hold. There is a hedge of awareness. The Spirit will slow your pace at curbs you did not notice. He will make you forget an item, so you return and avoid a conversation that would have siphoned your oil. He will nudge your eyes to the one line that changes the whole document. Protection often sounds like wait and feels like look again. There is a hedge of company. Heaven sends keepers of confidence, quiet lions who stand at your side without demanding spectacle. They pray more than they post. They ask better questions than they offer opinions. In their presence, your spirit rests because the atmosphere around them is covenant, not commerce. Fear will try to masquerade as discernment. Refuse its costume. Peace is your umpire. When dread shouts, answer with worship until the signal clarifies. Angels are not impressed by panic. They respond to faith. Say aloud, even softly, The Lord is my shield. My steps are sealed. Sleep will become a sanctuary again. Where the night once hosted rehearsals of defense, it will host strategies of deliverance. Dream language may sharpen doors, rivers, numbers, faces, and you will wake with instructions light enough to carry, but strong enough to guide. Keep your ledger by the bed. Write, pray, release. Remember also the armor you wear, truth. Like a belt, keeps your motives aligned. Righteousness, like a breastplate, guards tender places. Readiness, like sandals, makes you swift without noise. Faith, like a shield, quenches projections and predictions. Salvation, like a helmet, silences shame. The word, like a sword, cuts the ropes of false urgency. None of this is theatrical. It is daily clothing for royal errands done in plain clothes. And the cloak, do not forget the cloak. Authority warmed in worship will cover meetings, travel, and turns. Before you speak, touch the hem in your heart. Before you answer, breathe the name that sent you. You are not proving yourself. You are representing another. That awareness is a fortress unshaken by opinion. You are not alone in corridors that look empty. The hallway is crowded with help you cannot see. Mercy walks behind you, gathering what you drop. Goodness strides beside you, opening what you cannot push. Favor waits ahead. Smiling hand already on the latch. Rest into that escort and walk on, microbridge. The covering is firm. Now lift your eyes to see what this protected path is shaping in you and what waits when the doors swing wide. Now, feel the inward shift, subtle first, then certain. The hush that once felt like restraint becomes acceleration without noise. Your steps lengthen. Your breathing evens. Your spirit, once vigilant for sabotage, settles into assured agility. You are not the same person who entered this corridor. Something essential has reordered identity above image. Presence above platform, assignment above audience. The transformation is not theatrical. It is tectonic. Plates beneath your life have moved and new mountains are forming quietly under your feet. Fulfillment approaches like morning, not with a single trumpet, but with light gathering on everything. The rooms that once blurred now come into focus, the cedar table you were shown, the trifold door, the river path. You notice provision standing already at attention, as if it knew your arrival time better than you did. You notice people speaking your language without you training their tongues. Alignment that smells like cedar and prayer. You notice that resistance has changed shape, not walls to batter, but gates to walk through. The gate does not open to force. It opens to recognition. It recognizes the weight you carry, the silence you kept, the code you obeyed. Your voice sounds different to you. It carries peace weight, not volume weight. You no longer rush to fill silence. You let truth rest in the room until it roots. You do not sell what you steward. You serve it. Ideas arrive already proofed by prayer. Strategies land with edges softened by compassion. Old anxieties look unfamiliar against the new landscape, like costumes from a play you no longer perform in. Even your posture changes less, leaning forward, to reach more, standing upright to receive. This is fulfillment's fragrance effort, becomes ease, not because the task is small, but because the yoke is shared. The Lord is not just beside you. He is within cadence, matching stride, lending strength, humming the code you learned in the night worship. Listen, obey, repeat. Meetings become ministry. Deadlines become declarations. The calendar becomes a canvas, and the Spirit chooses colors you used to leave in the box because you feared they were too bold. Watch how restitution weaves itself into the tapestry. Places that dismissed you call for counsel. Projects paused by prudence now accelerate with unexpected help. Papers arrive signed. Doors you never jiggled swing. Opposition softens into inquiry. None of it makes you louder. If anything, you grow quieter, not from fear, but from fullness. Fulfillment breaks the addiction to proof. Your proof is fruit results that bless people, systems that restore dignity, decisions that leave rooms brighter than you found them. And you look at you. The cloak sits naturally now. Crown and towel both fit authority to lead and humility to serve. You sense when to speak and when to lay hands on work silently until it shines. You recognize faces from dreams and treat them not as trophies, but as trusts. Your ledger fills with done in faith, and the clicks of obedience sound like a metronome, keeping time for an orchestra you cannot see but can feel. Peace has pace. There will be moments of awe so pure you will need to step aside and breathe. When they come, do what you learned, give the first report to God. Kneel behind the curtain that protected you, and pour thanks until tears rinse the last residues of striving. Call your circle of 3 and say only what is needful. Then return to the assignment with hands steady and heart soft. Fulfillment is not a finish line. It is a fresh stewardship. Expect beauty to bloom in unlikely soil. Family conversations soften. Old grievances look tired and ask to be laid down. The home you dwell in begins to reflect the home within you. Less clutter, more light. Sleep deepens. Laughter finds you in the middle of tasks. You catch yourself blessing people under your breath. Baristas, builders, bystanders, and realize your lips have learned to guard and to give at the same time. There will also be holy seriousness. You'll feel a deeper mercy for the frantic and a firmer boundary for the manipulative. You will not reschedule your obedience to accommodate someone else's panic. You will love widely and entrust lightly. The river taught you that flow is not cruelty. It is clarity. Those meant to travel with you find your current. Those who do not bless and release. Look around. This is the life you carried in secret, now standing fully clothed. The prophecy has not merely come to pass. It has become a person in you rooted, resolute, radiant. The king did not just laugh over your victory. He walked you into it step by sequenced step. You kept the oil, and now the lamps burn long. Micro bridge. Stay in this posture. Open your hands. What comes next will seal this season on your tongue, a final sounding of faith, and a blessing to carry you forward. Let your heart stay steady in this holy hush. The same presence that guided you through shadows now crowns you in clear light. You do not need to announce what heaven has already authored. You need only to agree. Breathe, beloved. What was planted in secrecy is blooming in certainty. Your steps are ordered, your timing is guarded, your path is kept. Let these affirmations be simple swords you can draw in an instant. Speak them softly in the morning, firmly at noon, and peacefully at night until they live in your bones. Affirmation. 1. I choose presence over platform. My pace is peace and my words are weighty. Affirmation 2. I guard the oil and obey the code. Small clicks open heavy doors. Affirmation 3. I move in holy quiet. Heaven is strategizing and I'm aligned. Affirmation 4. I am covered, commissioned and carried. The river knows my route. Keep your gaze on the one who called you. When anxiety rises, let worship answer first. When questions come, let wisdom filter them. When opportunities arrive, test for peace and follow the needle of presence. You are not hustling for approval. You are walking in assignment. You are not proving worth. You are revealing workmanship. Your life is a sanctuary where the King delights to dwell. Now lift your hands open, empty ready. I bless your mind to be calm, clear, and keen. May your thoughts host counsel from above and reject every counterfeit urgency. I bless your mouth to carry truth with tenderness and fire with restraint, few words, full words. Words that build rooms for God to move. I bless your heart to stay soft in success, courageous in challenge, and unoffendable in misunderstanding. I bless your feet to keep rhythm with the Spirit, unhurried, unbothered, unwavering, arriving at doors exactly when heaven intended. I decree protection over your sequence, no thief to tamper, no saboteur to siphon, no flattery to fracture. May angels attend your going out and your coming in. May mercy gather what you drop, goodness open what you cannot, and favor stand smiling with hand on the latch. Let hidden roots drink deeply. Let visible fruit feed many. I speak alignment over your alliance's tables of cedar counsel without wrought friends who value covenant over curiosity. Let your home be peace lit. Let your sleep be strategy filled. Let your ledger sing, done in faith, until the metronome of obedience becomes your joy. And now may the Lord himself, author of your days and keeper of your nights, seal this season upon you. May his laughter be your confidence, his cloak your covering, his river your root, his word your sure foundation. You are chosen, you are anointed, you are assigned. Move quietly, carry boldly, shine wisely. In the name above, every name be blessed, be kept, be sent. Amen.